Yo, what's up, guys? I just kind of wanted to show off my little Backrooms game that I've been working on as of recently. Let me try my graphics a little bit so it looks a little nicer in here. Yeah, so I've been working on this game for maybe a week or two. The inspiration for this game comes a lot from this one YouTuber, Backward. Yeah, he definitely is like a huge inspiration. I saw his videos on his own little procedurally generated backrooms map generator. I'm assuming our generation systems are pretty much the same. The walls just kind of check for each of the rooms. Each of the rooms are just randomly generated. There's like a bunch of different types of rooms, like large, medium, tall, small, hallway, things like that. And it just kind of builds off of that, like kind of like a tree where it like roots out, and then checks if there's another room in the way. So if there is, it'll just go the other way. So yeah, the actual generation kind of happens in like the first like 10 seconds of the game loading. So there's not really anything to load. The game just kind of does it on its own as like you're loading in. Um, as you can see, there's still lifes. Just kind of like around. There's three different types of still lifes. There is like the complete still life, which are the ones that just don't move at all. Each character is randomly generated as well, so I just like a set of like clothes, accessories, things like that. Probably gonna add like things where it could be your friends' avatars that'll show up as still life, since the backrooms are like forgotten memories. But yeah, all the props you see are also like randomly generated on the map. They're just like in a folder in replicated storage, and it just kind of like chooses where to put them around. They all have their different kind of categories, so like all the ones that you see on the ground are floor props. The ones that are on the walls, I think there's only two that are like technically on the walls. Is the radiator. This one's a floor wall prop, so it only goes on the like the trim of the wall, on the bottom. There's an outlet that spawns. I'm pretty sure that's the only floor prop as of now. I'm gonna add a bunch of more props, but these are like kind of like the basic ones. I want to add like interactions with the items. I also want to add like dragging, things like that. The pictures were just like a little joke of mine. The only problems I really had with the map generation so far have been just like gaps, or just parts that didn't get filled in while in generation. It's not too hard to fix. As you can see, there's an issue right here with the trim. It's not really going around the entire room. There was also a few issues where it would consider, since this is technically a wall right here, it would consider this like as like this, like at the bottom of this wall. So I put a trim right here. um I forgot how I like figured out how to fix that. I don't know what's up with this guy. This guy's like stuck in the roof. There's three different types of a still life. There is the normal still life. There is the shy movers, so they only move when you're not watching. And then there's also the stalkers, which it's kind of like given in the name. They just kind of like stalk you around once you see them. This guy's not supposed to be moving while I'm looking at him. But yeah. So the um the stalkers don't really do anything of now. There's no real like threat in the game. Nothing that can kill you or hurt you. I do want to add like an aggressive stalker that will kind of keep stalking you, and then also like kind of come up behind you and keep trying to come up behind you, kind of like a weeping angel. So you have to like keep looking behind you, make sure there's nothing there. And if they do end up actually like coming behind you, they'll like break your neck, or I don't know, do something. They'll do something interesting to kill you or injure you or something. But yeah, as of now, the stalkers just kind of like predict what room you're gonna go into next, like stand in the corner and like turn their head to look at you. What that guy's doing over there is not a stalker behavior. I can show you that the map is able to be regened. Um, yeah, everything is procedurally generated. It's really cool. I'm actually really proud of this project. I don't take any credit for any of the models I used. I just kind of like the backrooms model, I mean prop pack, and I just kind of use what was in there. Maybe when I finish more, I'll make my own props. If not, I'll just keep them. But it's not gonna harm anyone. It's a toolbox free prop, bro. Like it was meant for that. Anyways, yeah. So I want to add more props. Definitely more things on the wall. More rooms, more I did want to add like pillars that kind of stretch across like the walls so that it's not just like on the ceiling and floor. I also want to add like different like light effects. I want to add like blackouts. That would be really cool. Like a random blackout that happens. Everything's just like super dark. You can't see anything. Definitely like some type of like flashlight. The blackout would look really cool with these TVs right here, and then I can make like TVs play like scary things that will like scare you. Dude, I have so many ideas, man. But yeah, right as of now, there's not really anything to harm you, kill you. Nothing you have to watch out for. It's really just I was just trying to focus on the map generation at first, and then kind of move towards like monsters, entities, things like that. The still lifes were kind of just like a stretch that I wanted. It just felt too boring without the still lifes. But even now, the still lifes are not really too interesting, so I kind of want to work on them too. So yeah, it'll all come around eventually. It's all just a work in progress. I don't know if I mentioned it, but yeah, all the rooms have different types. So right here is a tall room. I did have a few issues. I mean, there's still an issue right here. You kind of see the flickering, but I did have a few issues with like these down steps as well. I tried to make it upstairs, but it did not work well. So yeah, that's going out the window. I don't know. Maybe there'll be like a downstairs or like I don't know. I don't know. That's it's a lot of thinking in the future, but for the most part, I'm really proud of how this turned out. Everything works really well. The map generation works really well. There's never any like gaps or issues. It's like almost 100% foolproof. It generates around like 180 to 200 rooms. I think the max is like 210 and the lowest is like 175. So it kind of like generates in that kind of in that range. Besides that, there's not really much else to show. It was kind of just a showcase of like this whole map generation thing. I definitely want to make it a little bit darker, unless I don't know. I think maybe this light is kind of fine. Maybe I'm just maybe I just think I want it to be too scary. Yeah, I mean I don't know. It looks fine. Animations. There's like multi-directional movement, head tracking, things like that. Camera bob, blah 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 blah. First person forcing. I do want to make the game accessible for console and mobile players, so yeah, I'm definitely be doing that. If you were interested in this video, leave a comment. Tell me what I should add. I don't know. I'm definitely gonna add more rooms, like more rooms, maybe more levels. I don't know. Maybe I'll just stick to the actual back rooms, but definitely different types of rooms just to keep it a little more interesting. And that's kind of about it. This guy's a stalker right here. You see him? You see him? You see how he looks at me, and then I look away, and then he's gone. Oh my god. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I really like the way that turned out. So yeah. Yeah, that's about it. If you guys want to play the game, I'll leave the game description. It's open right now. It's open as of now. I usually publish the updates that I make right away if they're like good. If not, then I'll just kind of keep it saved until I think it's ready to publish. But yeah, so there will be like kind of gradual updates as I work on this game. So if you do see this video, if anyone sees it and they're wondering if the game is going to be updated still, the answer is maybe. If I if I feel like it, if I don't get bored of working on this game in like the next week, then yeah, I'll keep working on it. But I think the next thing I want to add is definitely more entities, more of a threat around here, and also item like moving. And like I also want to make, since there's gonna be entities, I want to make it so you can like barricade off walls and stuff. Obviously the entity is strong enough to break them, but it'll kind of hold them back for a second while they break through all your barriers and everything. But yeah, thank you for watching this video if you're watching, and let me know if you have any ideas of what I can add to this game.